So I think Daniel James, as it stands, we might have been very impressed. He was the fastest player to clock a run or something like that. I think there was a stat on that account as well. So if you want to run, then you go to the Olympics, not to the Euros. So
it's funny. At the end of the day, 3 points is the most important thing which we all want. We don't want any celebration. We don't need any player preference or anything. At the end of the day, 3 points and trophies are our priority. So it's a manager duty to get the best from him, give him the new contract. If not, then open the door and get the money and buy a replacement. Because right now, I also think there is no replacement available in our squad. There is no player right now who is the same caliber of Paul Pogba.
Yes.
If we have anything, then I think we can talk about it and we can discuss about a replacement.
Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. Okay, speaking about Malaysia, okay, as you guys are aware, the COVID-19 cases are rising and it's rising quick. Okay, today we hit 11,000, I think more than 11,000 cases for the second day in a row. Okay, things are tough. Everyone is stressed out, especially our frontliners. Okay, no doubt for us regular folks, we have our worries, uncertainties. Okay, there's no light at the end of the tunnel or whatnot. Okay, but our doctors and nurses are the ones literally battling COVID face to face every day, insufficient sleep. Okay, attending to patients who are fighting for their lives. Okay, then you can just imagine the events, the traumatic events they have to go through. Okay, people losing their lives and whatnot. Okay, so we collectively at JomUnited, okay, we want to give a big shout out to all the frontliners. Okay, thank you so much for what you guys are doing, okay, and have already done, okay, doing for our country. Okay, so please hang in there and our prayers and best vibes are with you. Okay, and for all the Malaysians who are helping with the Bendera Putih movement, okay, the hashtag Bendera Putih movement, helping those in need, okay, a big kudos to you guys. Okay, we always joke about us Malaysians, you know, Malaysian timing and our politics and whatnot, okay, but for this particular movement, I can really say that I'm very, very proud to be a Malaysian. Okay, and for the rest of us folks, okay, be steady a bit lah, okay, stay at home, stay positive, okay, try your best to get vaccinated. Okay, if you're bored, nothing to do at home, okay, tune in to JomUnited, okay, and join our Telegram group, okay, so we can TCSS, okay, TCSS, you should know what it means lah, okay. So let's go back to our regular program. Okay, Euros is over. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of Euros content. Okay, now we are back to doing Manchester United content. Okay, so to start things off, we will be talking about our players, okay, their performance during Euros 2020. Okay, so kita mula dengan pemain yang bagi saya lah, dia memang man of United for Euros lah. Okay, Luke Shaw, also known as Shawberto Carlos. Betul tak, Jai?
Yeah.
Apa pendapat you tentang
Shawberto Carlos?
Shawberto Carlos.
Shawberto Carlos. Okay. Oleh guna sosial, I minta board of Man United sign Luke Shaw. Kita sambung dia punya kontrak sebab dengan performance assist dia, bantuan dia 3 dengan 1 gol dekat final, dengan apa yang dia pernah alami sebelum ni, pernah lalui injured yang teruk, dengan apa orang panggil dengan motivate yang sangat tinggi, dia kembali menunjukkan sesuatu potensi yang I tak nampak lah dalam mana, I tak tahulah you all, tapi Manchester United punya player dekat Euro, I nampak dia seorang je yang sangat-sangat talent, yang sangat-sangat menyelah. So memang nak bagi bintang 11 bintang ke 12 bintang pun, saya tak tahu berapa banyak bintang yang boleh bagi kat dia, sebab dia daripada dia low, daripada dia no motivate, dengan injured dia semua, dengan tunjuk kepotensian dia, dengan jaringan dia, dengan assist dia, dengan cross dia, dengan covering dia, semua cukup komplit. Dan I hope untuk next season Luke Shaw berkembang lagi menjadi pemain yang bertaraf bintang. Itu yang I nak. So dekat Euro ni dia memang paling terbaik sekali. Memang terbaik dan terbagus. Sambung kontrak dia. So yang
kalau performance macam ini masuk ke dalam season baru kan, apa perasaan you sebagai seorang Manchester United fan yang player yang menirlah, then ngam-ngam season dah nak bermula?
Menakjubkan guys, menakjubkan. Dia pemain yang menakjubkan. Kalau dia konsisten, dia dengan bakat yang dia tunjukkan masa dekat Euro ni, dengan dia sambung ke Manchester United, kita antara contender, antara pencabar yang boleh mencabar pasukan-pasukan yang lain. Pasukan-pasukan yang ada dekat English Premier League.
Kalau signing tu ada masuk selain daripada Sancho kalau Sancho seorang juga koyak kan bro.
Betul. Koyak, memang koyak. Betul, serius. Tapi berbintang-bintang saya bagi kat Luke Shaw. Serius saya cakap. Luke Shaw memang terbaik.
Okay, I think all of us...
I tak nak cerita pasal game.
So are we going to give all the players who perform well Euros new contracts?
Wait, hold that thought first. Speaking about contract, hold that thought first. Okay, moving on to the next player on our list. Okay, for me personally, I think he did a great job as well lah. Okay, but then this guy carry a lot of controversy and whatnot like usual around him. Okay, Paul Pogba. Okay, our resident number one Paul Pogba fan, Syed. Okay, what do you think about his performance in the Euros?
I mean, he showed his class whenever he plays for France. So there was no surprise. Whenever he plays for France, we already expect what he's going to do. He's going to control the game. He's going to create chances. He's going to win headers. He wants to create chances. And even you can feel the leadership whenever he plays for France. Even Didier Deschamps, he trusts him a lot. He consults with him before making any substitute. Even in the halftime, you can see, for example, before the match or during the halftime, Didier Deschamps is always with Pogba. So the France team is actually evolved around Paul Pogba around. And that's the thing which makes him deliver more for the France team, which we sadly we cannot see in Manchester United. Manchester United, like the formation maybe, or maybe the players around him, I know like this should not be an excuse for any player plays for Manchester United. Whatever players we have, we stick to it and we should perform. Like whether you're playing with Kante or you're playing with Fred or McTominay, you should always deliver your 100%. So talking about his stats or numbers, which I gathered before the video. So he made like 1 assist and 1 goal. And we all know the goal, which was a superb goal. He struck outside the box. And then the celebration and all, which makes a lot of fans here in Malaysia and also like outside the world, they were criticizing on Twitter that he's making some moves and all. But the goal itself was a world-class goal. There is no doubt about it. And then he also created 3 big chances. He was creating chances for Mbappe. He was creating chances for Benzema. But Benzema, he scored few goals. But Mbappe, he missed a lot of chances. So I think Mbappe should apologize to Pogba because otherwise he would have more than 1 assist. He should have like 3 or 4 more assists if Mbappe converted all of his chances. And talking about more stats, for example, his physical aspect of the game. His physical aspect of the game was very vivid when we see him, even when he plays for Manchester United or he plays for France. His physical appearance, he can win duels one-on-one with any player. Whether the ball is in the air or whether the ball is on the ground, he's strong enough to hold the ball. He's strong enough to win the ball as well. But there is a negative part, or there are some errors he made in Euros as well. We should not hide with his goals and with his presence in the box or in the field. When I was comparing all the stats of all the midfields, I found out he lost possession 15 times during the Euros, which is quite bad for a midfield. We're talking about like he is in the top 5 midfielder of in the world right now. But if you are losing 15 time possession, it's not simply good enough, whether you're playing for France or you're playing for Manchester United. So if I compare this stat with Fred, Bruno, and McTominay, who are also midfield for Manchester United, so they lost the position maybe 10 times. Even Bruno, he didn't play a lot of matches for Portugal this time around, but he just lost the position 10 times. Pogba lost the position 15 times. But for example, his offensive duties for France is more because he has a freedom to play more. So that's why we saw he creating chances, he making like assists and goals and all. But right now, like there are rumors that Manchester United is going to give him a new contract.
Yes.
And the fan group around the world, or even in JomUnited or everywhere, is divided whether we should give him a new contract or we should not give him a new contract. For me personally, if you ask,
Is it worth 500 grand a
No,
week?
it's not 500. It's not 500. It's ridiculous.
400. It's not 500.
425 thousand per week, 22 million per year. That is what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
400.
I mean, yeah. For example, like if you want to have a world-class player in your team, you need to pay him whatever he's asking. So I know this is not 1999. This is not class of 92. The players are not playing for the badge. Maybe they are playing for the social media. They're playing for likes. They're playing for followers. There's a lot of things involved in the player this time. I was also reading an interview from Wayne Rooney, and then he said like there was a game where they lost the match, and then Lingard and Pogba, they were dancing and they were playing music, and then Carrick and Rooney, they were watching and they just stopped the music. They said like, what the hell, we just lost the match and you are playing the music, and in the they posted on, I think on Instagram, it went viral that time. But Rio Ferdinand, he came and then he told to Rooney like, we need to adjust with the new generation of players. They are not the same breed as Rio Ferdinand or maybe Vidic, or you compare to any other hardcore player who just love to play football and that's it. They sleep, they wake up, they eat, they do everything with football. But with Rio Ferdinand, he said like, we need to use to this generation, which includes like Lingard or maybe Sancho. Sancho is coming, and I'm sure you will see a lot of dancing, a lot of celebration with Sancho as well, because they are good friends. They are like young players. So I mean, forget about those things, his celebration or his haircut or anything. But if you talk about like, he deserve 400k? For me, yes, because you don't have anyone in the team right now who has the same caliber as Paul Pogba.
Question. Okay, I got a question. Okay, because basically you said something contradictory.
Please cue me in.
Yes, I'm going to cue you in. Cue Doc. Okay, so my question is to Doc. Okay, if just say we are going to pay such an amount of money to a player, okay, of course it's not our money, okay, but then at the same time we need to build the team and actually buy quality players around him. Okay, would it make sense to spend so much money? If I'm going to invest that much money, right, I'm expecting he can basically fix all my problems already. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I think Syed said that you need to pay the best, but he's not the best. He's not even best in United. Granted, okay, I agree with Syed. He had a fantastic World Cup. Okay, he really looked like a world-class player at the World Cup. He scored. He was leading the team. He was assisting, setting up a lot of plays. But where is all this at United? I don't see this at United maybe twice or three times a season, right? And all those stats are great. For France. But where is it for United? You don't see it at all for United. Okay, maybe once or twice, a season, 3 times a season. That's not enough for a guy you're going to pay 435,000 to a week. If you want a guy who's going to be paid that much, he should be performing week in, week out, no matter where he plays. Put him on the left wing, put him as a striker, he should be able to play, right? First time I'm hearing midfielder who likes to, I only attack, I don't do defensive job. That is not a midfielder. Even Bruno Fernandes runs back and defense, right? May not be the best. Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, they were all good. Okay. Roy Keane was a defensive mid. He used to go forward and attack. He used to score goals. Okay, he doesn't say, my job is just to defend, I stay back and defend. Paul Scholes is the same. Fantastic, getting into the box, scoring goals. Couldn't tackle, but he still went back and did his job. Right? That is what a midfielder needs to do. Okay? And the attitude, you don't see this attitude at United. Do you see him, this kind of same attitude that he shows for France at United? No. And why are we rewarding players for playing well in international tournaments and coming back when you're not performing for the club? I don't agree with this at all. And, if we sign the right players, he may perform. Then you pay him if he performs week in, week out. Not now. When he's come back from a World Cup, Euro, playing well, we don't reward him for playing well for your country. If we sign, maybe we sign good players and he starts to perform, then yes. Then by all means go ahead. But now is not the time to do it. And for me, this is my biggest frustration with Paul Pogba. Mm-hmm. When I see him perform like this for France, I wonder why he can't do it week in, week out for United.
I mean, it's very clear. The position he plays, the players around him, it's different France to Manchester United. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or if our squad cannot get the best from Paul Pogba, there is no need. We should give him the contract. We should sell him. Definitely, there is no point. Yeah, you should not. We should not have a player where the manager cannot get the best productivity from a player. It's a manager duty to get the maximum from there. Paul Pogba requires a partner with him so that he can perform better if it is a pivot role. Yes, agree a lot of things like he should perform same the way he's performing for France. If that is not the case, then we should not give him the new contract. We should sell him right now. But right now, PSG, I mean, they are bidding or they are not bidding. There's still rumors around here, but I don't think any club right now in a position to afford Pogba even. They are saying like Manchester United can even let him go for 50 million. If there is any club who wants to buy him in 50 million, and if Ole thinks it's good for the team, I will be happy, because at the end of the day, 3 points is the most important thing which we all want. We don't want any celebration. We don't need any player preference or anything. At the end of the day, 3 points and trophies are our priority. So it's a manager duty to get the best from him, give him the new contract. If not, then open the door and get the money and buy a replacement. Because right now, I also think there is no replacement available in our squad. There is no player right now who is the same caliber of Paul Pogba.
Yes.
If we have anything, then I think we can talk about it, and we can discuss about a replacement if we have.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. For talent-wise, we don't have a midfielder in the club with this talent. I agree with you totally, Syed. Okay, but my point is this: even if he's played off position or things like that, right? You should have the attitude to want to deliver your best no matter what, right? Greenwood playing out of position on the right, he can say, "I want to be a central striker. I don't have to play on the right." They still come in and do the job. That is what we need, right? And when we do see it once in a while, but it's not enough. If he can just show that more consistently over the season, that is fantastic. We're just not seeing that enough. And I agree with you, he's a great player, good player, but I just want to see that attitude. Going to play for United. You're playing for United, right? Play for the badge, play for the club, play for the history. That's what I want.
I think
because we don't know what's going on in the background.
If I can just add, why I brought up the salary part was, what I'm worried is, if, for example, Pogba still shows these hot and cold performances, it will be difficult for us to offload him, like what the problem Ole is having with David De Gea. David De Gea, we can see clearly that he is moving towards Henderson, all right? But the problem is, he cannot move De Gea to a different team because of the salary. So, are they ready to make the same mistake? Like personally, I prefer David De Gea over Henderson. But if the only problem why Ole cannot move on from De Gea is because of his salary, so this could be a potential problem in the future again. So
I nak tambah sikit Rush punya ni cakap tadi. Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay, sebenarnya masalah salary ni macam David De Gea, sebelum ni pun kita pernah ada masalah dengan Sanchez kan. Dengan Sanchez, sebab Sanchez kan gaji dia mahal, gaji dia besar. Tapi lama kelamaan kita dah pinggir dia and then kita jual dia dekat Inter Milan. So macam masalah
untuk bayar dulu, lepas tu next season baru kita tolak dia.
Tak, sebab macam ni, macam contoh kes Pogba ni dia dah tahu dah masalah dia ialah performance dia turun naik dengan dia tak perform, kadang-kadang perform, and then tiba-tiba dia nak mark up gaji dia 400-500 ribu kan, tetap 500. So masalah dia sekarang ni, dia kena sedar yang masalah dia yang dia tak perform untuk dapatkan gaji mahal. So as a management pun akan tahu apa yang dia boleh buat dan apa yang dia tak boleh buat. Dia tak boleh defensif, dia nak just attacking. So aku rasa kalau Ole berfikiran yang terbuka, dia mungkin bagi Chan dekat Pogba untuk tunjuk, tetapi untuk dapatkan salary yang tinggi dengan performance dia macam tu, kalau aku jadi Ole, aku suruh dia berambus je. Even ada management, ada replace ke tak ada replace ke, baik kau berambus je lah. Kau tak ada apa-apa pun, kau tak boleh buat apa pun untuk MU. Sebab sekarang ni kelab mestilah lebih besar daripada player. Itu yang paling mustahak. Sebab contoh, kalau Pogba minta 500 ribu, lepas ni Bruno Fernandes yang main som-som kuku tu minta pula 500 ribu, berapa ratus ribu pula nak kena bayar dengan 2-3 player ni.
Betul.
So it's not logic lah. Cuma kita tak tahu benda ni dekat dalam punya management, cara diorang kita tak tahu. Cuma kalau aku jadi Ole, kalau gaji kau dengan cara permainan kau macam ni, kau baik statik kat situ je lah. ataupun kita jual kau berambus daripada MU, lebih baik. Itu sebab kelab adalah besar daripada player. Itu kena faham lah. Even kau World Cup ke apa ke, tapi performance kau macam tak apa-apa. Sebab tu Hendo hari tu main dia replace dengan Hendo. Sebab Hendo tengah, kita bagi chance dekat Hendo, tengok macam mana dia punya performance, tapi dia still tak boleh beat De Gea. Ini aku cakap terus terang, jujur. So dia memang willing untuk dapat gaji banyak tu, De Gea.
Okay, so I think talking about Paul Pogba, okay, we conclude lah. Okay, personally for me, I feel we got good points. Okay, like Syed mentioned that no doubt with a quality like player like Pogba, if he leaves, he will leave a big hole in our team, and then we will not have a proper replacement. Okay, and I agree with Doc that you mentioned that maybe we shouldn't give him a contract right now. Okay, maybe we should take the risk to see how he actually perform. Okay, because I think a player like Paul Pogba compared to someone like Sanchez is on a decline already. Paul Pogba is still, I would say, in his prime years. I think if you're talking about within this 1 year and whatnot, I think there's still clubs willing to, spend money and whatnot. Yeah, of course, his contract is running down and his last year of the contract and whatnot. So we got to take into consideration all this kind of stuff. But for me personally, I would still keep him. Seriously, I would still keep him at the moment. But I wouldn't offer him a 400,000 per week contract. Maybe 300-ish, 320, 325, something like Sancho, then yes, maybe. But not 400 plus, 500 is ridiculous for sure. Okay, so
and Ole likes him, Ole always wants to build a club around him. So it's not a matter of Ole doesn't like him. Ole wants to build a team around him. But Pogba has to show that attitude, that's what I feel.
Again, another thing, I feel that a lot of players, right, we have to reserve our judgment until probably mid next season. Now Sancho coming in, Varane, I think is 90% coming in, and then they are saying that they're going to get a third signing, which is a first-class signing. Okay, with these three players in the team, right, pretty much I think they fill up most of our holes. There's no excuse already, no excuse for Ole, for Pogba, for Martial. Yes, I'm number one Martial fan. No excuse for them. Everyone need to perform. Then we can actually see. I think by the mid-season, before January, we will see who actually deserves to be in United. Okay, or whatever that we say, whether it holds true or we're just being fanboys. So we will see in the coming season for sure.
I think that giving him the contract is important, because if you don't give him the contract, he will be free, and in January transfer window, a lot of clubs will start contacting him to get him for free, which is a loss for our club. Remember, he was in academy, and then we let him go for free to Juventus, and then we paid 89 million for him, and now second time he will be gone for free. It will be such a shame for us as a fan that we are letting them, a world-class player, for free. So I think it's important for us to give him the contract, at least lock him down, so that any club wants to buy him, or if Pogba wants to go, or if Raiola wants to search a new club for him, then you sell him for a price. We should not be ransom as from the outside world. We cannot let him go for free for 2 times.
We got to see.
Yeah, but going back to Raj's comment, if you give him an astronomical amount, no club can offer a contract anyway.
Yeah, so it's the same situation as De Gea now. So any club cannot pay 325 or 375. I think 300 euros, 300,000 euros per month. Yeah. So no club right now is.
But in this case, it's different for a goalkeeper and a midfield. I think
it's only one position. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different goalkeeper. It's a different position altogether. Okay, guys, I think we need to move on to our next player. Okay, let's move on to Harry Maguire. Okay, Josh, he's been quiet for quite some time already. He's licking his lips. Yeah, so what do you think about Harry Maguire, Josh?
It was an exciting conversation to hear about Pogba and all those, I
prepared my snack, but then they didn't fight. We cannot see. I actually prepared a snack.
Exactly. So, but what I learned from these Euros, right? There's no one-man team. You look at Ronaldo, you look at Mbappe, you look at Pogba, you look at the other teams that always had the one-man show. Who is the semi-finalist? Italy, Denmark. England, Denmark, and who's the other one? Spain. Right? They all play as a unit. They all play as a team. Right? We could easily replace Pogba with someone half the price, half the salary, and quarter the size, which is Insigne. Look at him. He won a title, and he plays on the left also. So moving on forward into all this talk about the one-man show giving the contract. Look at Harry Maguire. Right? Harry Maguire played as a unit, and I'm very, very impressed. I'm a bit of an anti-Maguire as well, but he played like a pretty much
How can you be
critical
anti
role.
Maguire when you spend so much money on his jersey, bro?
No,
On his jersey,
because he's being give the captaincy. That's my only doubt with him, because I don't see him as a captain yet. But as a defender, yes, 80 million pound defender and all those things, he plays his part. But sometimes he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, like the basic stuff he need to do well. That's it. And what he done in the Euros was even more exceptional, was getting headers at the opposition box, which we wanted that. We didn't have any of those in United. So, what I want to say is, like, Maguire, well done to him. He has bucked up. But I think what actually pushed him further for this tournament, which I think United might do, is having the second and third world-class defenders. For example, Varane coming. And then maybe, and hopefully the first time Lindelof play with Spain, we hope we have him back. And, the other defenders coming in to pressure his spot. Because Maguire knows if he's out, my man Tyrone Mings will be there and he will do the same job.
I'm going to cut you off there. No. Please,
all right.
Please.
So what I'm saying is, Maguire, well done to him. I hope he comes back to United playing the performance that he did. If he wants to earn a captaincy, prove me wrong, because I still think we will never win the title with him as a captain. But job well done, credit where it's due. I think he's one of, behind Shaw, I think Maguire is like the most improved player, and he proved his worth lah. And he's also in one of the defenders for the UEFA team of the tournament. So well done to him.
Okay, do you guys think, right? Okay, just now we were talking about Shaw, Pogba, and Maguire. I mean, the top three players in United who performing the best, who perform the best in the Euros. Do you think their performance is due to the management of the manager in the national teams, or is it because of the players surrounding our players, our United players in the national team? Doc, what do you think? Why are they performing?
That's a very good question. I think also to a certain extent who is playing with. Maguire played with John Stones. John Stones was also quite good during the tournament, made a lot of crucial tackles, made a lot of blocks. And when they were both caught out of position, right, Kyle Walker covered them amazingly well when he was playing, either when he was playing as the third centre back or when he was playing the right back. So I think as a unit, they were very strong. Even defensively, they look very good. So maybe it could be down to our defensive coaches. I don't know what they're doing, the way we are conceding from set pieces and free kicks in and around the box. If you look at England, they were more of a man marking when it came to set pieces compared to what we do at United, which is a half man, half zonal kind of thing. So all these little things, difference in the setup, can make a big difference. So maybe, and we now have a new defensive coach, right? So hopefully there's some changes in the foot.
Okay, so we move on to our next player, the Welsh Mbappe. Okay, so because Mbappe wasn't really performing now. Okay, sorry, Syed. Okay, so Daniel James. Okay, what do you think about Daniel James? He was actually quite hyped up. His stats. I think later Syed can share his stats.
I hyped him up to his passes, and I was like, I gave him a lot of stick when he was in United and all. But when I watched back the game that he played extremely well, was against Turkey, who went absent without leave in Euros. And besides that, the other games, it was pretty much the same old Daniel James. Shout out to Errington. Errington was the one who said that most of the players in Wales are either from the first division or something like that. So from that, except for probably Aaron Ramsey and a few others like Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale. So all of them are either in the lower Premier League level players or from the first division. So I think Daniel James, as it stands, we might have been very impressed. He was the fastest player to clock a run or something like that. I think there was a stat on that account as well. So if you want to run, then you go to the Olympics, not to the Euros.
It's funny.
So I say, if you want to, Daniel James is best for his career to actually move on to a club like Newcastle or something like that. That would be maybe on loan in the beginning and see whether he improves further or not, or else you cut a full deal for him. But as far as the Euros is concerned, he did what he was required to do. Unfortunately, Wales, even their forward, I can't remember the name of the forward who was playing for Wales. He was not converting whatever crosses they were putting into the box as well. So he did his job. But I still feel that for United level, he needs to step up more. So that is Daniel James. I think it was pretty much the same as how he was first, but he got hyped up because of the surroundings that he was playing for. I think against Denmark it was proven, right? He was struggling with a very competent Denmark unit who was continuously attacking and bombarding forward. So yeah, so that's this one on Daniel James.
Okay, so we move on to the next player, Scott McTominay. Okay, no doubt Scott McTominay, I think he was playing in a defensive position instead of his usual midfield position, right? So how do you think he performed up?
I thought he was okay. I think the first game against Czech, he played in his usual position in midfield. He was quite decent, doing what he normally does, holding the ball, moving around. And actually, Scotland did create a lot of chances in their first game, right? But they lost very narrowly to the Czech team. Then the next game against England, he started to play at the back, the right side of a defensive three or back three. I think he stifled Sterling and the whole England left side quite well, which actually led to England then using Shaw in the next game and kept using Shaw from then on, right? So he did have a very good game. The last game he was very average, but I think it also people may start to look at him as a central defender. There's been some talk, and I think some of his even performances during the qualifying as a third player in the back three, he was quite good. So it may be a position where we can use him if we decide to go to a 3 at the back or a 5, a 5-3-2 or something like that. But I still think for him, his best position in the midfield. I think every year for me at United, he has shown improvement in the way, initially he was just a defensive mid, then he starts moving forward, then he started adding goals to his game. I think if he keeps on improving, he will have a big future at United.
But even in the Euro, we saw his passing. His passing is good when he's passing in his own half. When it comes to opposition half, his passing is so horrible. I mean, it's like 70% success rate of passing when he's forward pass in the attack. But like sideways passing, backward passing, small passing, he's good. But now, like the game is like a CDM should also pass to the forward. He's very lacking in this vision where he cannot make through balls. He cannot make passes in the attacking half. He can only play good in his own half.
Same like some midfielders who should be defending.
Yeah, but his tackling. But his tackling.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Sorry, I apologize.
No, who are you talking? Who are you talking about? I don't get it. Who are you talking about?
A certain Frenchman, sir.
Yeah, but it's a very wrong comparison, to be honest, when you're comparing McTominay position with Pogba position in the Euros, because Pogba was having a free role. No, Pogba.
Yeah, McTominay's vision is limited, like what Side says. That's his problem.
Because he was playing with the Scottish team, and the Scottish team always play a hardcore game. They play defensive game. So Scotland game and France game is not a right comparison.
But he's a guy who is consistently improving. So I have high hopes for him actually.
Yeah, speaking about the stats and whatnot that you brought up, right? That was my point last time. Okay, Smuffz, I love you, bro, but then that's my point. His side-to-side passing is fantastic because that is what he has been doing in United all this while.
Forward passing, no, but yeah.
Yeah, and back passing lah. Okay, but passing forward, that one only the one that I've seen is only in the Villarreal game. Okay, so for this part 1 of this segment, okay, we are going to end it here. Okay, guys, stay tuned for part 2 as we dive in more into the other players. Okay, and the possible coming players. Okay, so stay tuned.